Hello everybody, here we go with another video. I am doing two videos this week like I always do. This one will be injured players from spring training, if they got injured in spring training, if they were injured during spring training, just injured in general. Just a couple big names. The first guy we're going to be doing, and the reason we do this, and I'm also doing this for myself because my draft is later this week, is we want to know who not to draft. We want to know if there's value in some people drafting. In the case of Hunter Pence, who's going to be out for a couple weeks, but he's probably still going to be good when he comes back. So just because his value went from the fourth and fifth to the seventh, makes him even a little bit more valuable because you can stash him on your DL. Same with a guy like Jose Fernandez and Garrett Richards. But without further ado, here we go with the players that are injured. And if they're in red, they're pretty much out for the season. If they're in yellow, you should probably think about them. I mean, unless you like them as well. If they're in green, they're probably a go. Also, they're not rankings or anything. I'm just telling people my opinion, and hopefully you guys use that to your advantage. Here we go with the first one. We're starting on the left side. Corey Hart. Corey Hart actually got hurt getting out of a hot tub. He got stitches on his foot, and he's actually playing in games. So if you like Corey Hart as a bounce back candidate, he should be good to go. But he probably won't have much value in most leagues unless he just starts tearing it up. Mike Minor looked like he was dead for a while. Dead, I mean, from fantasy value point of view, because his shoulder, he had a shoulder problem, but nobody knew what it was, so he took a MRI. He actually had shoulder inflammation, nothing wrong with the shoulder, so he's gonna rest for 2 weeks, and he should be good to go. Now Mike Minor didn't really do very well last year, and the year before that he was actually pretty good, so take that with however you want it. Now, Yu Darvish and Cliff Lee, as many of us know, Yu Darvish actually is going to have Tommy John probably. He went to the doctor and the doctor told him that's probably what he should have. So he's probably going to be out for this year. He's probably 90% going to be out. I mean, there's people who don't do it like Tanaka, but he's probably going to opt for doing it. Next guy is Cliff Lee, and Cliff Lee's pretty much said that he's going to retire if he can't pitch, and it looks like he can't. He has the same problem he had last year, which was like, was it an elbow? It was like an elbow problem, I think. So, R.I.P. Cliff Lee, one of my favorite pitchers. Very good guy when he played for the Indians. Got traded, still loved him, but it sucks. It just sucks. He's also pretty old. Hopefully he retires, um, and best of luck to him. The next guy we have is Rusney Castillo. So Rusney Castillo is an interesting case because he got paid a lot of money. Now he's injured, and Mookie Betts is actually tearing it up. And a lot of people are thinking that Betts is going to start. So Castillo supposedly is going to start in center, but so can Betts. And the only guy that's for sure a lock is Hanley. They also said they're going to start Victorino, but they have a logjam there, and they should really kick Victorino out. But that all has to do with Castillo injuring his oblique a couple days into training, into spring training. So take that for what it will. Anyways, that just makes him an even more of a flyer because I mean, what they say, the cream of the crop is going to rise to the top. Rusney and Mookie Betts should be in that outfield. Even if they're not for opening day, they're still going to have an impact for this fantasy season. So draft them as so. Even then, Mookie's draft value has gone up because he's been tearing it up in spring training thanks to the injury, and he just looks like a future all-star. So there we go. Chris Sale actually fractured his foot, and he has a sprained ankle. It's like 1 foot's fractured, 1 foot's sprained. I don't know. Anyways, that just drives his price down. He's still going to be a stud when he comes back. I would draft him, if with that discount. He's going to be back mid-April, so you probably get him you probably miss like 1 or 2 starts. So there you go. You can have him for pretty cheap. I'm pretty sure he should be down if people think that that's going to be a big deal because people land on that foot or whatnot. Who we got next? Stroman He was a huge sleeper. I think I had him on one of my lists. He actually tore his ACL. Nothing arm related or shoulder related. Hopefully we see you next year, and hopefully we can draft you. You'll be on the sleeper list next year. Hopefully that's not like some curse or anything. If not, I'm gonna have to take him off. But good luck to you, Stroman. You will be missed. Next guy we have Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez had surgery. He looks like he might make opening day, so draft accordingly. His ADP actually took a hit. As I was saying in the ESPN video, it went from like the 20s to like the 50s. And that might make him a little bit more palatable for people who want to draft him, because drafting him at 20 is a lot for a guy that's that old and just showed power last year. Next guy is Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera also had surgery on his foot. He could make opening day, but he's a beast, and he even on one leg he still hit 25 home runs with over 300 average and 100 RBI. So that guy is a monster, and he's gonna be even healthier than he was last year. So you should draft him as a first rounder. Next guy we have is one of my favorites, Drew Smyly. He actually has shoulder. There we go. He's questionable for the season with the shoulder ailment. That shouldn't stop you. His ADP is really not that high, so you can still draft him. You could probably draft him with like your last or second to last, third to last pick now. Hunter Pence, I have already kind of talked about him. He's probably going to be out. Where's he at? Where is he at? He broke a forearm. He's going to be out till at least mid-April. And with Hunter Pence, you could probably get the 20 home runs still. You might not, but he's still going to be a top 20 outfielder when he comes back, so that's a good thing. Hopefully he isn't that rusty when he comes back, but that is a good value player now. Who do we got? Sean Doolittle. Doolittle actually has a problem with his throwing arm, the shoulder on his left arm, so that's a big no-no. I wouldn't draft him, but he should. There really isn't even a optimistic timetable for his return. He's just doing strength building exercises right now. So take that for what you will. Denard Span actually got hurt a couple of days ago. He's out at least a month, and that actually opened up, kind of like what Royce Castillo did. It opened up the gates for Mike Taylor, who's a pretty good prospect in Washington. So just like Royce Castillo's losing out to Mookie Betts right now, Denard Span is losing out to Mike Taylor, even though if Denard Span comes back, he's probably going to regain his spot if Taylor is struggling. But if Taylor comes out of the gate hot, they're going to have to find a spot to put him in. Also on Doolittle, he will be expected on the 15-day DL. Who do we got next? Jonathan Lucroy. I think I've been talking about this in a couple other videos. He hurt his quad or hamstring. He pulled it. And that actually lowered his ADP, and that made him more of a value. I think he's going around the same. Number where I got him last year, which was a steal. He was in the 90s, I think, last I checked. So he's actually going to play in a game later this week, or next week on Monday. So he should be ready to go for the regular season, and he should be drafted as like a top 5 catcher. Who do we got next? Jose Fernandez. Jose Fernandez is recovering from Tommy John surgery. He's going to be back in June. Is it June or July? Let me check this again. Oh, yeah, June. He's going to be coming back at least until June. He'll be out at least until June. He's a good DL stash because you could use him in your playoffs and all that, and he is a stud. Next guy we got is Kenley Jansen and Joel Peralta. So Kenley Jansen got hurt his foot, and Joel Peralta might get some of the save opportunities. Kenley Jansen is a guy you should probably stash on your DL. Manley does love him, and he's probably going to regain the closer spot once he comes back. Having said that, it is a very volatile closer spot, so anything can happen. If one of the young guys or Peralta steps up, Jansen could be the setup guy. Next guy we have is Garrett Richards. He's going to be back April as well. or at least until April. And he was actually a top 20 pitcher last year until he got hurt. So it wasn't an arm or a shoulder thing. It was actually his patella tendon, right? Patella. It was something patella. So I would draft him as a top 20 pitcher, even though you're going to get him outside of the top 20 because he is injured and starting the season. Um, you know, not on the DL. Who knows? They might put him on the DL for a couple starts, but that gives them value there. A guy who's trapped in limbo is Alex Gordon. He hurt his wrist, and I really don't know what to say about him. I don't really like him. Not as a person, just as a fantasy from a fantasy perspective. But if you like him, he should be back for the season. It isn't really that big a deal, but even then, he was one of the late round guys, and he really isn't a make or break guy. So there we go. There's all the spring training injuries thus far. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Uh, if you do like the videos, subscribe and like them. And comment if you want some advice on trades and whatnot. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.